What's up YouTube, Dell here from Zephyr, and today it's about time that I updated the almighty, the all-powerful Red Eyes Black Dragon. That's right, Primites are being reprinted, so it should be a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get them for this deck. As a disclaimer as well, if you wanted to add in Dominus Impulse and you've been able to pick them up or got lucky from Rarity Collection 5, then you would definitely add them into this deck. I just think it's an incredibly powerful card that really can shift the tide of the game. But what you need to remember with that particular card is it will shut off your Primite Ether Barrel, so there's a bit of a balance that you need to take a decision on when you do add them into it. This build does not involve that card, but the idea is it's something you could look into. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. If you get the video above 50 likes in the first 24 hours, I will bring you a test stand combo video for the deck as well, so you can see how the deck wants to try and operate on a randomized basis, going first and going second. So starting off with the monsters themselves, we are playing free Red Eyes Black Dragon. Now, you can play any artwork you want. I love the original starter deck Yugioh artwork, but I also like to use this artwork. And the reason I like to use this artwork is that when I'm playing Red Eyes with a Dark Magician card, I like to have the Arcana art, because I feel that this art of Red Eyes would probably be, it's like the darker version. It's what I would expect Arcana to play if you played Red Eyes as well. But that's just me. So you play free Red Eyes Black Dragon. The reason for this one is that you will go through your Red Eyes cards very, very quickly, very, very easily. With Blue Eyes, of course, you do put those cards into the graveyard quite quickly and then recycle them around. With Dark Magician, sometimes it can happen. You can go through all the copies, but you never really need to play free Dark Magician. You never really need to play free Blue Eyes. But in this version, you are going to play free Red Eyes just because of how core it is. Being able to bring it back from the graveyard, you've got your Lordy Load. You're naturally bringing it back with some of your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. And then there are loads of cards that send Red Eyes directly from deck to the grave, which is something you're going to utilize in the form of stuff like Red Eyes Insight as well. So you've got multiple Foolish Barrels for your Red Eyes, and then your Primite Fusion lets you recycle them. The one Dark Magician is mainly in here for Red Eyes Fusion. You could afford to cut it if you really, really wanted to. You can also summon this card out with Primite Lordy Load if you do have another way to fuse. It's entirely up to you. There is a dragon that I choose to use in my extra deck that can utilize Dark Magician as well, so I can recycle it back into the deck if I want to follow up and be aggressive with Red Eyes Fusion. The other Red Eyes monster we're playing is 2 Red Eyes Metal Claw Dragon. So this does involve the Metal Morph engine, but the whole idea of that one is just Metal Morph gives you an Omni Negate, which means you can protect from Nibiru, which is really important. So this one, you get to activate Metal Morph traps the turn they were set. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Send a face down card you control to the grave to special on this card from the hand, and if it is normal or special and you have max Metal Morph in the field or graveyard, you get to add a Metal Morph trap from the deck or graveyard back to your hand. Then we're on 3 Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon. This card's just like insane for the deck. So you send a level 5 or higher normal monster from the hand or deck to the graveyard to special summon it, so it can also send your Dark Magician. Then increase its level by 1. During the main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the grave, you get to banish it from the grave to add a Red Eyes Fusion from the deck or grave to the hand, and that basically gives you the idea. Now, very rarely do you actually want to send Dark Magician because of that effect, because what you would ideally do is at turn 1, you do this effect, you send it, you make it a level 7, that opens up your rank 7 plays, but then on the following turn, you banish it from the graveyard, you grab yourself your Red Eyes Fusion, activate your Red Eyes Fusion, and remember you've already got a field set up. The Red Eyes Fusion then lets you get into Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and at that point your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon is going to have a Red Eyes and a Dark Magician in the graveyard, so that's 2 pops and 2 burns. Plus it sets you up with that Omni Negate, plus it's just going to be insanely powerful for your opponent to deal with, and while you've already got a built up field, that Red Eyes double pop and then double burn should pretty much lead you to game. So it gives you a contingency plan as well if your opponent does break your field. Then the other ones we're playing is 3 Red Eyes Insight. So send a Red Eyes from the deck, hand, or to the graveyard to add a Red Eyes spell or trap from the deck to the hand, except itself. Now the card you're going to want to be playing is 1 Return of the Red Eyes and 1 Red Eyes Fusion. Now, of course, when you've already got the follow-up of your Red Eyes Fusion access through your Black Meteor Dragon, you might want to rely on Red Eyes Insight less. But the idea is it's a Foolish Barrel for your Red Eyes, which can really help you out with your Primite Fusion plays. And then you'd probably go more times than not your Return of the Red Eyes, but it also gives you more consistency to get you to your Red Eyes Fusion. So you've got more ways to access this card if you needed to. Then the card that isn't a Red Eyes card but should be a Red Eyes card, and I say this every single time, is Black Metal Dragon. So target a Red Eyes monster, you can try and equip this card to it from the hand or the field, but as addition, the idea is that if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you add a Red Eyes card from the deck to the hand. It's literally what it's there for. You get to search out any of your one-off Red Eyes cards, exclusively your Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. So this is your Omni-Negate. It cannot be normal summoned or set, and it must be special summoned with Max Metamorph that was activated by tributing a level 5 or higher dragon, which is incredibly easy in a red or black dragon deck. Then on top of that one as well, you can reveal this card in the hand to set a Metamorph trap from the deck, and if you do, shuffle this card back into the deck. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you get a quick event, negate the activation, and then you get to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of an attack position monster your opponent controls. So negation, off we go, 3400 beta as well. And by the time you've summoned this with the Max Metamorph, it's going to be equipped with the Max Metamorph, which makes it even stronger. So the Max Metamorph, tribute a face-up monster, special summon a monster that cannot be normal summoned or set, that mentions Max Metamorph from the hand, deck, or grave. Then you get to equip this card to it with the following effects. The equipped monster gains 400 attack, and it can't be destroyed by your opponent's monster's effects, and your opponent cannot target it with monsters or spell effects, which is really, really important. Then the final kind of Metal Morph card we are playing right now is the Metal Flame Swordsman. This is ideally in here just to reveal it, to get you more access to the Max Metal Morph. Entirely up to you on whether you want to choose to play this or not. You can lead into the Metal Morph side a little bit more and go for the Illusionist. You can also utilize 1-for-1 a little bit more on this one. This is just to get your access to your Black Metal Dragon. Then, of course, that's just link fodder to off you go. Your ideal normal summon for the entire strategy is going to be your Aether Beryl. So normally summoning out your Aether Beryl gets you access to your Primite Lordy Load, and then the idea off the back of the Primite Lordy Load is you get to add either your Drill Beam for your disruption, or you can add your Primite Fusion for your interactions. Now, one thing a lot of people do forget is that Primite Aether Beryl has an additional effect. So you get to tribute it to then send a normal monster from the deck to the grave. So if you were to already open up a Primite Lordy Load, this one, getting access to set the Primite Fusion, sends you that dragon from the deck to the grave, being your Red Eyes Black Dragon, and then you can activate your Primite Fusion to open up the door to some of your other monsters. So it really is entirely up to you. It will more times than not only get you into the Primite Dragon Nether Beryl, but the idea is that if you've got other cards in the graveyard as well, it can be a very good option that a lot of people forget is even accessible. Then moving on to the non-engine, I've got the one Bestial Magnamut. You can play Druid Swarm, you can play Balldrake as well if you wanted to. That would then free up some of the non-engine that I'm about to show you, but it really comes down to the environment. Right now, I think that Fiendsmiths are on a rise, so playing a Balldrake and a Druid Swarm is not that bad of an idea, for the pure fact that I think you want to be looking at cards like Ghost Bell and then either DD Crows or Bestials, just because of those particular variants running around. You have to try and stop the Fiendsmith route, because the Fiendsmith route will either lead them to a Desiree, which is a really annoying card that can't be targeted, that negates your stuff, or they go into a DDD High Wave King Caesar, and that can be just as annoying to deal with, so you have to try and stop them getting to it. Or you play a different way and you go, I don't care if you get to it, I'm just going to negate them, destroy them, and out them. For our non-engine, we are on 3 Mulchummy Fuelos, we are on 3 Ash Blossom, and then my current go-tos are 2 for Fallen and the Virtuous and 2 Forbidden Droplet. You can adapt these however you see fit. The idea is just to give you cards that can break fields as well as cards that can disrupt fields, but they're just cards that really do give you ways to out particular builds when you're trying to go second as well, which is a very, very big component of the game right now. And you can't really sit there, not do anything and go, right, build your strongest field and then not have a way to break it, because then no one's playing Yu-Gi-Oh apart from your opponent. They're just doing a test hand. So that's it for the entire main deck. Now to move you on to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, again, you've got quite a lot of flexibility depending on what you want to try and get access to and what you want to try and achieve. The card you're going to play most of is going to be your Meteor Black Comet Dragon. And the reason for this one is, yes, of course, you can do it with Red Eyes Fusion, but you can also do it with Primite Fusion as long as you've got the right monster in the graveyard. And that's where your Bestials can become a little bit more consistent, because you can recycle your Bestials and go again. So if this card is Fusion summoned, you get to send a Red Eyes monster from the hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, you inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that monster. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you get to target a normal monster in the grave and special summon it. So it's a 3500 base. It then can also send, if you want to do as much damage as possible, it can send your Red Eyes Max Metamorph, wherever it may be. It can also send your Red Eyes or your Metal Claw Dragon for 1200 damage, but like I said, the most damage you can do is 17 by sending your Red Eyes for Metal. Then you just got to get this back into rotation. Then we've got the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, pretty standard, comes off the back of Red Eyes Fusion 99.999% of the time. It can't be summoned via Primite Fusion, because that will specifically only let you get into a dragon. And Dragoon, I can't tell if I'm happy or disappointed that it's a spellcaster, not a dragon. But then I also feel that in like today's day, how far are we off of like dual types? We already have dual attributes. Like there's some cards that can treat themselves as like either multiple attributes or just treat themselves as a light and a dark. How far off are we of a card being treated as a spellcaster and a dragon? Or a Winged Beast and a Beast, or anything else like that. I think that would be really kind of cool to see, but never know. There's probably definitely some reasons why that isn't the case, but you know. Then we've got a Borolo Furious Dragon. So this can also be summoned off the back of your Primite Fusion, because it just requires 2 Dark Dragon monsters, and the Primite Fusion just needs you to use a normal monster. This should give you a quick effect to target a monster you control and a card your opponent tries and destroy them both. I've then gone with the Aggressor of the Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight of Dragon Magic. If you want to protect your spell and traps, you go for the Dark Magician, the Magician's Knight. But the idea behind this one is it's Dark Magician plus a level 7 or higher dragon or warrior, so your dragons. And then if a monster attacks a defense position monster, you inflict piercing battle damage, and when your red eyes are going to be pumping out strong monsters, you can actually do quite a lot of damage. And then if it destroys a monster by battle, you get to inflict damage to your opponent equal to that destroyed monster's original attack. So if you're burning there, and then you're going to be attacking and burning there, you can push through game. And Red Eyes Dark Dragoon can do the exact same job. Then the final fusion monster you could actually summon is your Primite Dragon Never Bizalus. So the idea is this one, it gains 1,000 attack for each normal monster card used for its fusion material. You negate the effects of monsters your opponent trials whose levels, ranks, or link ratings are less than or equal to the number of normal monsters in the field and or grave. If this card is sent to the field or grave, you get to special summon a normal monster from the deck in defense position. The idea is you should very easily be able to put 1, 2, 3, or even 4 normal monsters into the graveyard. So that can make it very awkward for your opponent to navigate around, because they probably don't expect this card or even know what this card does right now. But more times than not, it's just a very easy, accessible dragon that you can summon off the back of your Primite Fusion just by having Ether Beryl, Tribute Off, send Red Eyes Black Dragon. Then we've got the Striker Dragon, so you just turn your Red Eyes Black Dragon into this. Your Metal Dragon, sorry, turn this into the Striker Dragon. That then triggers off to search. You can go for your Extender and your Black Metal Dragon with claws, or you can go for a Red MD. I'm not playing Red MD still. It's kind of an option to you if you want to keep it in or not. Then generic, you've got your SP Little Knight, you've got your Hieratic Seals, and then we start opening up the floodgates to our rank 7s. So for the rank 7s, I've got the Volstagg. It's not even Volstagg, I just made that one up. The Darkest Dragon Doom Rider. So this one is a generic rank 7. You get to detach 2 materials to target a face-up card on the field and destroy it. And if you destroyed a monster, you can make one face-up monster you control gain attack equal to that destroyed monster's original level or rank times 300. It cannot attack the turn you activate its effect, but it is a quick effect if it has a dragon as material, which 99.99999% of the time is going to be the case. Then we've got Eclipse Dragon, Ruler of Catastrophes. So again, generic rank 7. If it's XYZ, you get to target a level 4 or lower Dragon Ruler monster in your graveyard, banish and special summon it, but you're not really going to be doing that. More times than not, this is just when your opponent activates a spell, trap card, or its effect. You get to detach 2 materials from it, negate the activation. If you do, banish that card. So it's just your spell and trap negator. Big Eye, Snatch Steal, let's go. Red Eyes Flare Metal, revive Red Eyes, burn, and constantly keep your opponent on edge. And the last 2 cards are going to be your Fallen and Virtuous targets with your Albion and Ecclesia. Again, if you don't play Fallen and Virtuous and you want to go for something like a 3rd Forbidden Droplet, by all means, you open up 2 space in your extra deck. They could become more rank 7 options for you. They can become a 2nd Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon for you. They could also become other link options for you as well. So it gives you a bit more freedom to do exactly what you need to. But the other is right now, I'm quite happy with Fallen and Virtuous. I think it's like one of the best consistency cards for going 2nd, just because it lets you constantly recycle that material or recycle that resource for a disruption, and then being able to turn 1 disruption into 3, I think is near invaluable right now. And that is it for our entire profile. If you do have any questions at all, by all means, please put in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer them where at all possible. For now, as absolutely always, as I mentioned, get the video above 50 likes in the first 24 hours, and I will bring you a test and combo video for the deck as well. But for now, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.